seems nothing too stand out-ish, but ladies and gentlemen, let's jump to the land of dawn for our first game between Geek Fam and Bigetron Alpha.
Look at the respect for the pick-off, for the early aggression. 3 Purifiers on the board, 2 in the hands of Bigetron.
As expected.
Even though they are the ones who seem to be going for some pickoffs. So, Geek Fam, they have to try to change their approach right here. Some of the targets that they were looking for in the early game are just less available with that Purify in play.
Well, as expected, right? A lot of Purifiers will come into this first game because of the crowd control. Again, the Brock that can be provided. And taking a look at the emblems here or talents, what do you think, Rashi?
Well, there's the Quantum Charge Super Sorizo with the sprint, so double mobility. You can expect him to try and go deep into the back line. And on the other hand, there is an equally speedy build, the Quantum Charge in the hands of Markyy as well. He's playing for speed. He's playing to kite away instead of sustaining. But now you're fighting for the litho, and Baloyskie might get taken out.
Oh, Ken finds a kill now with a Finch Poise as well. Super Vin, aggressive.
Too aggressive there, right? I mean, Baloyskie is sure you can soak in a lot of damage, but that is a total loss there for side of Geek Fam because he used the flicker and he got taken out. Take a look at Super Ken already invading the camps of Geek Fam. That's a win and win for the Red Robots in here, minute number 1.
Well, in the end, it's going to be Luke on this Joy yet again against a Paquito. Both equally mobile. I wonder how this matchup is going to play out because Super Sorizo, he can very easily catch up to Luke, but he wants that retribution, that vengeance that just allows him to just suck up a lot more damage than usual. That might throw Super Sorizo off.
Well, looking at the situation now, Geek Fam, they're still trying to stabilize after that first loss. Now, looking at the first hurdle here, rotation-wise, they're a little bit behind, and that is why Bigetron Alpha here, Sorizo already somehow delaying that turtle take as well. Take a look at top side, though. Ling will be harassed by that Grok. Will it come to fruition is the question. Super Vin, keep in mind, he's on a full tank emblem and a talent, so he is in an okay position here to harass the jungles of Geek Fam.
Super Vin is also running the Concussive Blast emblem, so the wave clear is just so strong for the set of Bigetron, and they're trying to use that to its full advantage. Wave clear, wave pressure, into pickoffs, into roams. This is the Bigetron Alpha style we've come to expect, and they're trying to use it to get this turtle, but Geek Fam is doing a good job of contesting it, unless they can take out Baloyskie right here.
Oh, a good wild charge from Baloy. Just disengaging here, understanding there was a threat, a kill threat onto him. Meanwhile, Sorizo putting on a lot of damage on to Luke on this Paquito. A very oppressive, a bully laner. Niall's looking for an opening 1 level below of Super Ken, and Super Ken just jumps on it. Should be a free turtle, the Bigetron Alpha. Just utilizing the map pressure, map control. Niall, though, still trying to go in with Phantom Execution now, jumping in all the way deep inside. Very low, caught low, and instantly going to be taken out. He uses Thorn Rose, still able to survive for a bit, but the Tempest Blaze comes through. Superman still able to escape for now. Now the way the Dragon locks him down, gets Luke out. Super Ken jumping back with a Finch Poise, 1 HP. Bigetron Alpha wins out on the trade. It's just a 1-0, but it's quite massive for the Red Robots.
Oh, there's a mismechanic there, right? I mean, Geek Fam, they weren't on with 4 people. They cannot commit this game on that turtle, but they forced that fight. Bigetron Alpha with the win, but the turtle has yet to be touched, though.
You can see the difference in focus. Geek Fam, we're trying to make sure they get a turtle, but Bigetron, they're trying their best to just bait in the members of Geek Fam and take them out, and they left the turtle up and open yet again, but here we go.
Oh, a lot of oppression. He just sliced and takes it out. Niall falling down with the Dragon locking Luke down. Even with a vengeance, it's a killing spree for Super Ken as he jumps forward. Baloy forced to flicker out, and it's a 2.4 thousand gold lead for the Robots.
Not a good start here for Niall. 0-0 in the first 4 minutes. Now, the jungler with a killing spree as well. That's a waste of resource, right? You want to clear it fast, and with this loss, take a look at Ling. Already try and go for the invades.
They're just going in and taking as much as possible, trying to shut down Niall. And they have a chance right here. The pressure is definitely on the side of Geek Fam to try and find something. They just lack a bit of crowd control. Everything they do needs to be an all-in because their real source of stun is only a wild charge, and that's a huge investment. And even earlier, before in the turtle fight, Baloyskie was forced to use it. So Bigetron is doing such a good job pressuring the right people, burning the right spells at the right time.
Man, it's looking bleak now. 5 minutes in, 3,000 gold lead already in hand for the red robots. And look at Super Vyn, still with the harassment. Will he commit?
Finds the way the Dragon. Niall locked down. Supercan jumping to the bridge, boys. Phantom execution on the back. Still able to escape right now. It's just a dive completely. Wait, what happened? On the other side of the map, there's a solo kill. Luke getting taken out by the Paquito, by Chorizo. Super Vyn diving the turret a bit too aggressively. Markyy punishing him a bit, but Bigetron Alpha showing style and class.
Man, oh man here. Top side will collapse by the hands of Bigetron Alpha, but no, not yet. Markyy says no. With the Blazing Duet, will be able to clear that wave. 3,000 gold already. Geek Fam, what do they need to do here, Arashi? I feel like they need to give and funnel the gold towards Markyy.
They need to funnel gold towards Markyy. That's a given at this point, but they have to try and find plays on their terms. They keep reacting to the plays of Bigetron because Bigetron is a lot faster, but they can't keep doing that because Bigetron has the counters ready, and now you can see that the objectives are starting to fall one by one. Bigetron is using all these objectives to force Geek Fam into unfavorable fights, and it doesn't seem like Geek Fam can adapt fast enough to just let some of these stuff go and maybe go for trades instead.
Oh, I agree. I think they need to find proactive plays with calculations, and I'm not sure here if this contest is worth it. Because again, Bigetron has the map. The map is ready at this current situation. Is this a wise move?
For Geek, looking at this contest, I'm not too sure. Niall not feeling it, 2 levels behind as well. Let's see if it's a 50-50 even. Baloy's already chunked very low. He has the wild charge, but I don't think it's going to be enough right now. He jumps in very deep inside of the real Robin Blade coming down. Niall actually steals it away. Pew 2 levels behind. By the time of the Blades comes down to the back line right now, Supercan picking up the Blades. Still no kills on the board. Oh boy! Brought back to the team by the way of the Dragon. He's going to be slain, but hey, for Geek Fam, I think that's a trade you need to take.
The Supers, they are taking it very, very seriously here. 76% real, well, audience prediction here. It seems like we can agree. Now, Luke with the Shaman Force. Well, it's not with Luke. It's the Herod with Shaman Force trying to find the play there. But again, Bigetron Alpha has the control all across the map.
I mean, so far, it's been everyone else but Super Saiyan, but look at his items, man. Starlium Scythe as well as the Feather of Heaven. That's a lot of damage, and there's a bit of true damage mixed in there as well. So if they ignore him and focus too much on Supercan or on Chorizo perhaps, there's going to be a lot of damage being output by this Harith.
I'm sorry, I was quite surprised there. Now wild charge from Baloy. Supercan not at a position where he's actually going to be threatened, but man, Paquito, a quarter of HP left in his health pool, but with one jab, he got all of his HP back. The Bloodlust Axe, my goodness, that was insane. Super Chorizo, I don't think he's recalled at all this game.
He has no mana cost, and with the way the jab works right now, he can just spell vamp so much more, spell lifesteal, all that HP that's missing back. Ludo gets pushed back, and look at that. Niall's having a very tough time. Bigetron Alpha just piling on the pressure on both sides of the jungle.
One talent here that stood out to me here, Arashi here. Baloyskie, the Grok is on a Brave Smite. What's the concept of this, right? Because sure, you will gain and restore 5% every time you cast a skill, but does this work?
Well, he is one of the only main tanks of his team right now. You can see he's been taking a beating, so the extra bit of regeneration is always good, but look at that engage though.
Wild charge, but unfortunately it's Baloy who gets chunked low here, gets taken to very low HP, and Bigetron Alpha might use this opening to take control of the Lord Pit. Super Vyn doing exactly that, looking for a way the Dragon, but Luke pops in that rhythm. Already a very big resource. Meanwhile, Chorizo, Bigetron Alpha not letting Geek Fam breathe at all, always doing something proactive somewhere on the map.
This is what we talked about during the draft, right? The Paquito, very fast clear, and it forces for the opponent to go to the far lane, and take a look at the engage now.
Vyn's looking for the way the Dragon once again, but what happened? Super Chorizo takes out his former teammate, solo kill again! He found Luke earlier, now it's the gold laner. Both the side laners are just getting demolished by this Paquito.
And what's worse is Markyy popped the Purify as well, and even with that, he wasn't able to survive. Bigetron It's slaughtered here now. Take a look at the invade again.
Wrong kick over. vynn still able to escape right now. Oh, he gets the co-alter right on time by Super Key.
Wow. The coordination has been spectacular here for the red robots. Now the Lord will march bot side. Geek Fam, are they able to control this one? Because it's not looking good. It seems like they're just driven by the game plan or gameplay of Bigetron. Is this just GG here, Rashi?
There's a bit of a saving grace in the fact that Geek Fam, they do better when they can't be pulled apart like this. Because for Bigetron Alpha, everyone's doing great, but Super Chorizo, the reason why he's able to just 1v1 Markyy, even with the Battle Mirror image to kite away, like we said, Quantum Charge, Sprint, all that movement speed in such a powerful package. Super Chorizo had no issue at all just chasing Markyy down. And that is something that means that he can't really split push alone. He needs to be always escorted by someone. So if everyone's together like this, in a way, it's a bit worse for Bigetron, but look at that. Once again, a big pick-off by Super Ken when Geek Fam is not together, and now they still have to defend the base.
A lot of solo kills off cam, but Super Vyn with the conceal.
Jumping onto a boy, good real-world manipulation, canceling out any sort of engage right now. But Boy's going to be chunked very low with wild charge defensively. He's going to be brought back to the team, and Super Socken picks up the kill. Phantom execution to the back, doing no damage, only taking a cold alter HP out. Bigetron Alpha have cracked all the tier 2s. Now, Geek Fam are down to their base turrets with the first Lord.
Oh, definitely not looking good here. Still 0 kills from the side of Geek Fam. Will they break the egg? Super Socken.
Okay, still with the shields now going, and the vengeance comes through,
There
and
you
that's
go.
the first kill for Geek Fam. We want him back. Super Ken now jumping in. Markyy gunning him down with the dragon, locking him down with the purified compensating. Still Ken surviving. Finally, Luke is able to take him out. It's a 2-for-1. Geek are finally on the board. It took them 12 minutes, but they're finally here.
Oh my god, Geek Fam with the defense. But is that worth it for Bigetron? Was there a mistake, Arashi?
That was definitely a mistake, man. Bigetron Alpha is so in control. They have everything going for them, and they have given 2 shutdowns to the side of Geek Fam. Luke has picked up that insane kill, and that is going to swing some of the gold back towards Geek Fam. And keep in mind, the longer the game goes, there is a Yves and there is a Claude, right? A lot of DPS, a lot of long range, and on the side of Bigetron Alpha, no long range, no AoE teamfight mage, and no DPS coming in the form of a marksman. So the longer this game goes, Geek Fam has a bit more of a chance to come back here. So Bigetron Alpha, by all means, need to be a bit more careful. They cannot make mistakes like that.
No, they cannot make mistakes, especially here with the Enhanced Lord in the vicinity of the Land of Dawn. Super Key. We touched on Paquito. We have talked Super Ken as well. Let's not forget Super Key on the Fairness. Clutch Cult of Altar has been placed throughout the game, but earlier it seems like he was out of range to help the Herod out, but concealed to engage.
Oh, vynn finding a good G Kundo, but a boy cancels it out. Now still going to be the way to try locking Nile down. vynn, absolutely phenomenal targeting as Super Ken assassinates the roamer in the back. Baloy down, jungler as well. Nile, Bigetron Alpha on their way to secure another free neutral objective.
That was all Super Chorizo, man, coming in from the side, baiting all the resources. A boy was stuck in the real-world manipulation, and he just got jumped on. Look at the power spikes coming in again for Bigetron Alpha. This might be the beginning of the end.
Oh, a lot of dives, which makes that Yves, that stationary hero, somehow vulnerable, a juicy target with the amount of dives in the Paquito, in the Herod, and as well Cho Ling. A lot of dives here from the side of Bigetron Alpha with this lore take. We might see the end. Let's see potentially the final offense from Bigetron Alpha.
Lord charging up atop, enhanced Lord this time. Geek Fam trying to run away. Super Vyn now with a good way. The dragon already chunking, and the Purify down. The Cauldron comes down perfectly timed, but Vyn still falls. Baloy now brought back to the team by the what is that burst? That was a tank that Super Socken just took out. Super Ken now on the wall. Niles giving him damage with the Phantom Execution. One more hit and he will fall. He takes one down though. Now Luke trying to pop or force Bigetron Alpha back out. It's still Bigetron Alpha with a massive win because they have taken out a base turret.
Oh my goodness. 6,000 gold lead now. Minute number 15. What will they go for? seems like they will slow down their tempo here, ladies and gentlemen. Geek Fam, slowly but surely, they're building up items as well. So, Bigetron Alpha, they need to be aware of this. Perhaps one major mistake can turn the game around. Do you agree, Rashi?
They need to just get into these fights together. Because early on, we saw that Super Vyn was just going in, looking for a pickoff, but his team was just not there. Initially, in the first fight, he was able to get a Jeet Kune Do onto a boy, but it doesn't cancel out the real-world manipulation. Afterwards, the same kind of story. He goes in, he gets bursted down, and by all means, they are still able to get one of the base turrets, but that's not an equal trade-off, right? Especially if afterwards, Geek Fam is able to counter-engage on them. Bigetron Alpha does best right here when Geek Fam is out of the base and they can get flanked around. And here we're seeing them trying to do that exact same approach again.
Looking at the items as well, Lancelot, he is behind 4,000 gold, and what's worse is he is building towards that item, the damage item, right? So without the items, his damage output will be lacking, so perhaps that should be the reparation from the side of Geek Fam. Meanwhile, Bigetron Alpha, they need to start to respect, right? That move from Super Vyn earlier shows that perhaps Bigetron Alpha got a little bit overzealous. Well, Super Vyn got a little bit overzealous, so he needs to stay on his ground now and look for the right opening and right timing here. Take a look at his position here now. Very, very safe.
On the other hand, though, for the side of Geek Fam, look at a boy building a glowing wand. So that will now allow them to just be a lot more dangerous, to do a lot more poke damage when Bigetron Alpha makes these investigative maneuvers towards their side of the jungle. It's going to be a big pressure relieved from the side of Geek Fam, and with the Lord Dance coming up right here, that is a huge resource to have on their side. But look at Baloyskie, man. He's just getting absolutely chunked. And even with the regen, even with the Brave Smite, it's not really allowing him to stay in these fights long enough to be relevant.
Minute number 17. Remember, minute number 18 will be the Evolved Lord, so perhaps they will delay this Lord take. Socket, look at the burst damage, and the commit.
Beautiful way the Dragon bringing Markyy back, but Super King gets stunned by the wild charge. Now it's up to Blades, knocking Baloyskie up. Super Chorizo in the back with a beautiful flank, enabling the pickups to happen. Luke jumping in now. Look at Niall in the back as well, just waiting to pop Super again, but he's still able to escape with the Finch Poise. Niall spotted. Super Sakin already now with his Amon Force. Phantom Execution used up. Now Key engaged on. Niall, 1 HP, getting chased down. Chorizo, one more hit. He dodges away. Niall gets out. 1 HP. Chorizo unable to catch him. And now it's the turnaround. Chorizo loses the immortality. Lord taken up. Chorizo still able to survive. The way the Dragon from Vyn takes Markyy out, and their Coal Altar helps them escape.
My goodness, what a long fight! But Bigetron Alpha, they still come out on top, taking 2 plus the Lord. 10,000 gold lead. Now things are looking bad. To worse now for the side of Geek Fam. Will they be able to defend this? I don't think so. I don't think so here. They need a miracle. Bigetron Alpha has the firepower, has the resources to end the game. Take a look at the items perhaps later on. They will have Immortals. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough time taking down Bigetron Alpha side. Let's see.
Oh, that's a full dive. Luke as well doing the same thing, but gets melted down even in the back. Super Can finds everything. Niall takes him down still with a good shutdown. Markyy with the win of nature. Still jumping back to the BMI. Now a lot of damage placed out with the Coal Altar as well, facilitating this late game push. Markyy gets out with the BMI, but the base is wide open. And Bigetron Alpha strikes first in this series.
The Red Robots will have